AI can create some crazy looking explosions and destructions right now, but when you try to use it in a real VFX shot, you're gonna quickly run into problems. Most AI videos give you very little control because you can't match the timing, integrate it perfectly in your shot. So that got me thinking, instead of using the AI to create the full shot, what if we only create the explosion element, sort of like a stock element for VFX, and then composite it in our footage? Meaning we still control the compositing, the masking, the lighting, and the creative decisions. So I decided to run this little experiment and see how well this hybrid workflow can compete with simulation tools like Embergen or Houdini. And the results were actually way better than I expected, and I see myself actually using this for professional work as well. In this video, I'll show you the hybrid workflow I used for my project, and hopefully you can also use this approach for your own shots while also keeping that creative control. The two main softwares I will use are Weavy AI to create the AI explosions, and then DaVinci Resolve Fusion for the compositing. But you could use any software, the overall workflow and principles stay the same. I'll split this video up in 3 different sections. The first one will be shooting our live action plate. Second step is making the AI explosion and fire elements in different layers so we can blend it all together. And that brings us to the third step, and that is compositing all the elements together in DaVinci Resolve Fusion. Before we even touch on AI or VFX, the most important step is actually shooting the footage. If your base footage is not looking good, no explosion or VFX will save it. So always start with a clean cinematic image to begin with. That will make it so much more believable. Hope you like my acting. Now when it comes to filming the VFX shots, you generally have 2 options. The first option is a locked off shot. This means your camera is on a tripod and isn't moving at all. And from a compositing perspective, this is the easiest shot to work with. But for this video, I wanted to make things a bit more interesting, so instead of using a tripod, I used a moving handheld camera. This gives the footage a lot more energy and realism, but it comes with its own challenges. Because now the camera is moving, we can't just place the explosion element into the shot and call it a day, because it needs to be tracked inside of the footage. So all the VFX elements have to follow the motion of the camera perfectly. It's a bit more work in the compositing stage, but the payoff will be that your shot will be much more dynamic. Once we have the footage, we can start creating our explosion and fire elements. Instead of using 2D stock images or 3D simulations, I'm gonna use Weavy AI to create the car explosion. And this video is not sponsored by them, so everything I showcase is just my own experiment. And because it's AI, we have a few limitations that we need to keep in mind, of course. The first one is explosion control. We're not going to be able to have precise control like we have in 3D simulation programs. Second one is resolution and bit depth. Most AI video generators are still limited to 1920 by 1080 and a bit depth of 8. And the last one is the frame rate. We're not going to be able to control the frame rate because this will always be fixed at 24 frames per second. Note that all of this will become better in the future. I personally would like to see a hybrid 3D workflow where we can adjust the explosion in real time and adjust sliders to change the look and everything. That would be so nice to have that level of control in a program like Blender or Unreal Engine 5. Let's see what happens in the future. I came up with a workflow where I first export my original footage to import into Weavy. With the Kling01 edit video generator, we can remove the actor from the video. This is also called our clean plate. This video we can then upscale using the Topaz video upscaler. From that clean plate, we can make different reference images and really dial in the look we want for the fire. We can use something like Flux or Nano Banana Pro to create the final reference image. This image will then be the base where everything is built around. I will make the animation of the explosion on a still image using the latest Kling 3 model. Then we have the explosion ready. After that, I will make a second generation, this time using that clean plate video as the main driver, and also inputting the fire reference images for the look of the fire. Then with Cling 1 Edit Video, we can generate the animation. The good thing about this is that the car and fire is already tracked in the footage, which is absolutely insane. After that, we can create another reference image of the actor. This will only be used for the relighting of the scene. I use Beeble's latest SwitchX model just to create an automatic rotoscope of the subject and relighting pass. Because of complex animations like this, SwitchX will not give you the best looking realistic result, but we can only use this for the relighting of the scene. Perfect, we have all the layers we need for the compositing. Now it's time to cook.
Salmon and cook it in the oven!
I will leave the template from Weavy AI and some test footage in the description so you can try it out yourself without needing to use credits for the AI visuals. If you're interested in learning hybrid workflows like this step by step, I have full training lessons and templates inside my school community. It's packed with content from complete beginner all the way to advanced. In this day and age, as editors and VFX artists, we need to master multiple skills simultaneously, because tools are making it increasingly more possible for a single artist to create high-level visuals on their own. Here we share and build real creative skills that get you to a high-performing editor, 3D and visual effects artist. That's all we do inside the Visual Effects Room. Go check it out. And now back to the breakdown. Now the fun part is combining all the elements together in a final seamless shot. I'll start by overlaying the AI visual above the original footage to check if it lines up. And it looks like it's a perfect match and the tracking is also looking good. Then I take the same elements together in Fusion. Here I use the alpha channel and relight pass from Beeple along with masks to relight the ground when the explosion happens. Then I also track some elements back into the shot, like the license plate and the logo. I also mask in the original parts of the footage, like the ground and shadow of the subject. One thing that could make this shot better though, is having some debris scattered around the car once the explosion happened, but I ran out of time for this, so I think it also looks good without it. After that, I also extract the explosion with the Luma keyer and add some more glow into the fire. I also added some extra light on the floor with a mask, some blur and a color dodge blending mode. To hide some of the imperfections and make the impact more violent, I added the camera shake effect with motion blur to really sell the illusion. For the final result, I also added some color corrections and imperfections into the shot, and one thing that really makes it blend is adding a filmic grain effect and also a cinematic color grade. And this is the final results. Honestly, this might be one of the more interesting workflows I tested out, because instead of using AI to create the entire shot, I used AI as a sort of VFX element and then composited it all together with real compositing skills. Which raises a bigger question: if these AI tools keep improving, will this eventually replace the expensive 3D simulation softwares, or will it be a mix of both of them? I'm genuinely curious on what you guys think. Would you use this workflow for your projects, or would you still use the traditional Embergen or Houdini workflows? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to learn hybrid VFX workflows or virtual productions, check out the VFX Room. Also, if you enjoyed this experiment, you probably also like this video on the screen here, where I showcase the new virtual production methods. See you on the next one.